You feel it? That weight in the room, the tension crawling across every glance, every whispered word behind your back. They know now. They see the shift. You are not the same person they used to toy with, the one they could underestimate, the one they could push around. It's almost funny watching them squirm. Every smirk, every forced smile. They're cracking. They feel it in their bones. Dominance isn't just a word anymore. It's your presence, your silence, your gaze. And boy, they hate it. They hate it. Look at them, trying so hard to read you, trying to predict the moves you've already mastered. The tables have turned. The energy has flipped. Where once you were the background, the overlooked, the quiet one, now the spotlight burns with your authority. It's a glare they cannot escape. You don't even have to speak. Your posture, your calm, your unshaken rhythm of movement does all the talking. Can you hear it? That subtle panic creeping through their veins? That quiet, bubbling rage of someone realizing they are no longer in control? Sweet, isn't it? Sweet chaos. The streets, the office, the room. They all shift when you step in. People pretend to ignore it, pretending they don't notice the shift. But they do. Every calculated glance, every tight-lipped laugh, they are mapping the terrain, trying to find a crack in your armor. There is none, and that is the beauty of it. That is the moment where power becomes visible. It's intoxicating. Every second, every breath you take, asserts what they've only just admitted in their minds. You are the boss now. You've been underestimated, written off, brushed aside. They counted on your hesitation. They thrived on your restraint. But all that patience, all that silent observation has built this moment. And now the world bends slightly when you move through it. They don't just feel your dominance, they fear it. And make no mistake, fear is respect, dressed in discomfort. Can you feel it in the air? That slight tremor in the ground where they stand? That's your impact. That's your authority. That's the power of someone who's finally awake. Every action you take from here on out will echo louder than words. Every step, every choice, every glance, it leaves a mark. And the mark? It unsettles them. It rattles the cages they built for themselves, the cages they thought you would never break free from. But you broke free. You tore the script they wrote for you into pieces and set it on fire. Watch closely as they stumble over their own disbelief, their confusion, their irritation, their triggers. They are your scoreboard. Every twitch, every annoyed sigh, every recalculation in their minds, it all confirms one undeniable truth. You are running the show now. And here's the secret they'll never say aloud. They love the tension. They can't admit it, but they crave it. That spark you carry, the challenge in your eyes, it unsettles them. Yes, but it also commands their attention. The tables have turned, and every tiny move you make now resonates like a drumbeat of dominance. You've stepped into your full self, and the world can either adjust or fall behind. No hesitation, no looking back. The game has changed, and you are the reason. So take a moment, breathe, let it sink in. This is your era, your presence, your aura, your calculated moves. They've triggered a storm. They can deny it, they can resist it. But deep down, they know. And that knowledge, That realization? It's yours to wield. Ah, savor it. Because the moment they recognize you as the boss, the one who calls the shots, everything shifts. Every power dynamic, every glance, every conversation. And you're just getting started. Now let's talk about power, real power. The kind that isn't handed out, the kind that is taken. It's not flashy, it's not loud, it's subtle, insidious, almost. Every glance you give, every word you don't say, they notice, and it eats at them. Every twitch of confusion, every forced grin, every frustrated sigh, they are mirrors reflecting your rise. Watch them, study them. They are giving you the proof. Control isn't about shouting or forcing your way, no. It's about moving in silence, making the room bend to your rhythm, and letting them realize too late that they are dancing to your tempo. That's the thrill. That little spark of panic in their eyes when they can't figure you out, that's your scorecard. That's the moment where dominance isn't an idea, it's a living, breathing reality. Every pause, every smirk, every deliberate step, it's all chess. And you're 10 moves ahead while they scramble to catch up. They'll test you. Oh, they will. Subtle jabs, backhanded comments, passive-aggressive smirks. But remember, their attacks are born from fear, not strength. Their discomfort is your ammunition. You don't need to retaliate, just exist. Just occupy the space they thought was theirs. No. Don't stoop to their level. Let them overextend. Let them reveal the cracks in their own armor. Patience, timing, precision. That's how dominance is carved. Every conversation becomes a stage. Every meeting, every hallway, every glance, they are actors in a play you're directing. And here's the genius of it. They don't realize they're in your play. They think they're performing freely, but you're the puppeteer. The irony is delicious. Your calm presence, your sharp words, your silence, they unsettle them. And every time they try to regain footing, every time they attempt to challenge you, they only confirm your superiority. Do not underestimate the psychological impact. Your aura, your confidence, the weight of your choices, they speak louder than any words. People are instinctive. They sense who's in command. They smell hesitation. They feel fear. And now, you are the one they feel. That subtle, undeniable energy. They can't fake it, can't ignore it. Every look you give, every move you make, reshapes their perception. The room is yours before you even say a word. And here's where most people fail. They wait for recognition. They crave applause. Not you. Your dominance isn't performative. It's inherent. It exists whether they acknowledge it or not. And that, my friend, triggers them the most. They want validation. They want permission to respect you. But you don't give it. You are. They're left scrambling, trying to decode the rules of a game you've already mastered. That frustration? That's your signature? Now let's escalate. Own your victories quietly. Celebrate internally. Every small win, the smirk you earned in a tense exchange, the subtle acknowledgement of authority, the shift in power dynamics, these are milestones. Keep them close. Let them stew. Let them obsess over how you moved, how you reacted, how effortlessly you dominated without raising a hand. That mental shadow you cast over them. That is more terrifying than any confrontation. And remember, dominance is a lifestyle, not a moment. Every day you walk into a room, every interaction, every calculated move, it builds your legend. People will react. They will resist. They will try to test your limits. And that's perfect, because in testing you, they only prove your strength. Every trigger, every annoyed glance, every whispered doubt, they are your trophies. Your rise is their discomfort. And their discomfort, it fuels you. So step forward. Own the tension. Own the space. Own the reactions you provoke. The game is no longer about survival. It's about command. Your presence is authority. Your calm is a weapon. Your patience is lethal. And when they realize, finally, that you are not just part of the scene, you are the scene, they will know. And nothing is sweeter than watching them process it, piece by piece. This is your domain now. Now here's the moment you've been building toward. The apex. The point where hesitation dies and authority rises. They've been watching, guessing, testing. Every misstep you avoided, every calm smile you held, every move they couldn't predict, it all led here. And now, there is no ambiguity, no second guessing, no space for doubt. You are the boss. Full stop. Feel that? That electric hum in the air? That's respect. That's fear. That's power. Whispering your name. Do you feel their eyes? Every room, every encounter, every interaction, they scan, they calculate, they anticipate, and yet they fail. Again and again. Because you're not reacting. You're not trying to impress. You're existing. Commanding, shaping reality around you without a single word. The shift is complete. They can't undo it. They can't ignore it. Every subtle move you make sends a shockwave they cannot absorb. That's dominance. Not performative, not loud. It's silent, relentless, merciless. They'll push. They'll test. They'll try to reclaim control, to unsettle you, to provoke a reaction. Don't give them the satisfaction. Every reaction they crave is a victory for them. But you've already won. Your calm is a weapon. Your patience a trap. Your gaze a snare. Every attempt to trigger you only confirms their own inferiority. Every effort to challenge you feeds your momentum. Every frustrated glance is a trophy. Every whispered doubt a medal pinned to your chest. And here's the brilliance of your rise. They don't even realize the full scope. The subtle power you wield, the calculated presence you embody. It's not about loud declarations. It's about perception, manipulation, and energy. The beauty is in the chaos you cause without chaos at all. They feel the tension. They sense the shift. They notice the unspoken authority. They know you are in control. And that realization, that hits harder than any confrontation ever could. So step fully into it. Own every reaction. Own every tremor you provoke. Own every calculated smile, every measured word, every silent victory. Their triggers, their fuel, their discomfort, they amplify your power. Every move you make is a statement. I am here. I decide. I dominate. And when they finally comprehend the reality that you are not just in charge, but that the landscape itself bends to your presence, there's no turning back. The rules have changed. The game is yours. Every interaction from now on is an opportunity. Every glance, every conversation, every subtle maneuver. They are confirmations of your rise. Your dominance is visible, tangible, undeniable. And the beauty? It's internal too. The confidence, the control, the unshakable calm. These are not for them. They are for you. Your presence becomes a force, your energy a weapon, and their reactions? Simply the soundtrack of your reign. Remember this, power is not taken in a moment. It is built, curated, honed in silence, in patience, in observation. Every choice, every step, every interaction you master carves the path forward. And now that path is clear. Every room you enter, every situation you face, every mind you confront, it bends. Not because you demand it, but because you embody it. And that is more terrifying than any outburst, more magnetic than any gesture, more commanding than any shout. So rise, stand tall, move forward. Every second is a chance to assert, to influence, to dominate with precision. The world doesn't need to acknowledge you. You are the acknowledgement. Every whisper, every glance, every subtle tension, they are yours to orchestrate. Your dominance has triggered a storm, and there's no shelter for anyone trying to challenge it. They see you. They feel you. They know. This is the apex. This is the moment. They know you are the boss now. And your dominance? It doesn't just exist. It consumes, it commands, it controls. Every eye in the room, every mind in the space, every ounce of resistance, they bend. Savor it. This is your era. This is your reality. And from here on out, everything shifts around you. And nothing, and I mean nothing, will ever feel the same again. Now we go beyond mere recognition, beyond presence, beyond simple dominance. This is about legacy. Yes, legacy. Not the kind they write about, not the kind people clap for, but the kind that echoes silently in every room you enter. Every glance they cast your way carries the weight of history. Every decision you make leaves a subtle imprint on their reality. They feel it. They don't even need to see it, but it shapes them, molds them, bends them. And that is power in its purest, darkest form. You've mastered the room. You've triggered reactions. You've earned respect. And yet the true victory isn't in being feared, it's in being inevitable. Every move you make now is a ripple that turns into a wave. Every calculated choice, every measured silence, every step you take, they all reinforce the truth. Resistance is irrelevant. They can resist, they can rail, they can struggle, but it won't change reality. You are the constant, the pivot, the axis. Everything revolves around. Look around, observe. Every frustrated glance, every whispered doubt, every subtle recalculation, they are your scoreboard. But here's the secret. Mastery is quiet. The louder they panic, the calmer you remain. The more they question, the more you assert without effort. You don't need recognition. You don't need permission. You are the standard they measure themselves against. And that, more than any confrontation, sends shivers down their spine. And now it's time to escalate. Not with force, not with aggression, but with precision. Every word, every glance, every gesture, they are tools. Your presence is a weapon, but subtlety is the sharpest edge. Let them think they're playing you. Let them believe they're testing your limits. And while they scramble in confusion, you are shaping outcomes, directing the game, moving pieces they cannot even see. This is the art of dominance, invisible, undeniable, inescapable. You've built momentum. You've carved space for yourself. But dominance isn't static. It grows. Every interaction, every challenge, every subtle provocation is a chance to expand, to strengthen, to cement your authority. They feel it, but they cannot stop it. Every reaction you provoke is a reinforcement. Every misstep they make under your influence is another testament to your control. And every moment they underestimate you, that's when you strike. Not with violence, but with inevitability. And here's the ultimate truth. They can trigger, they can react, they can resist, but they cannot unsee you. They cannot unfeel the shift. They cannot erase the mark you've left on their perception. That mark is permanent. Your aura, your presence, your mastery, it lingers in the air long after you leave. Every room you enter after this moment carries the echo of your dominance. Every glance they cast, every calculation they make, they are shadowed by your influence. Hey, listen. You standing there with that quiet fire deep in your eyes, pretending no one sees it, pretending you don't feel the weight pressing against your ribs. You thought slipping into the shadows would hide you, didn't you? But shadows reveal more than they conceal. They outline the one who chose the path no one else dared to walk. You stepped away from the noise, the comfort, the crowd, and something inside you shifted, not broken, not weakened, sharpened. And now here you are, face to face with the echo of every decision you made when no one was watching. You think going on your own was just a phase, a whim? No, it was a fracture in the ordinary, a split from the familiar, a quiet rebellion against the comfortable patterns that tried to fold you back into the shape they preferred. You walked away anyway, and the moment you did, the path you'd been scared to imagine began to form right beneath your feet, step by step, moment by moment, not because anyone guided you, not because someone pushed you, but because you were finally willing to risk walking alone. Most people freeze the moment the path gets dark. They turn around, they rush back, they cling to the soft hands of approval, terrified of losing that fragile warmth. But you clenched your jaw, tightened your grip on your own thoughts, and kept walking. You didn't even know what you were becoming back then. You just felt that strange pull. The kind that whispers, if you don't move now, you'll never move again. And so you stepped forward into the unknown, fueled by that sharp little spark inside you. And now look at you, not polished, not perfect, but forged. There's a difference between those who learn from safety and those who learn from silence. Silence teaches. Silence transforms. Silence strips away every borrowed belief until only your true shape remains. And that's what you carry now, the shape you earned, not the shape someone handed you. Walk back through your memories for a second. Remember those long nights where the air felt so still it almost hummed. That moment when your doubts tried to creep in through the cracks, whispering that maybe you made a mistake, maybe you should return, maybe you should ask for direction, comfort, reassurance. No. But you didn't bend. You didn't fold. You stayed with the quiet. You stayed with yourself. And that is when the transformation began. Because here's the truth, most people dodge. Going solo is not a declaration. It's a confrontation. A confrontation with every excuse you've ever used, every fear you've ever tucked under your ribs, every comfortable lie you've worn like armor. And you faced it all. You might not have realized the power in that, but your steps revealed it. Every choice you made alone started carving a mark deeper than any crowd could ever carve for you. You grew different, not louder, not harder, sharper, focused, unwilling to shrink just because the world expected you to. You started seeing through the illusions that once distracted you. You stopped chasing approval and started chasing clarity. And clarity has a way of turning ordinary people into something else entirely. Have you noticed the shift? The way your breath sits differently in your chest now? The way you don't respond to noise the way you used to? Silence no longer scares you. It steadies you. Nah. Your own company no longer feels heavy. It feels precise. And that's where the real story begins. Because once you choose that path, once you take that step away from the familiar, you stop being shaped by the world around you. You start shaping yourself. Every decision becomes a chisel. Every setback becomes a sharpening stone. Every quiet victory becomes a flame under your skin. People around you may not understand this shift. They'll wonder why you're not begging for validation, why you're not explaining yourself, why you've become more watchful, more intentional, more focused. But that's the beauty of it. They don't have to understand. They weren't there in the quiet moments. They didn't see what you saw. You did something rare. You stepped away from the comfortable path and chose the one that forced you to meet yourself fully. And meeting yourself, your real self, isn't gentle work. It's fierce. It's demanding. It forces you to face the parts of you that once slept under layers of noise and expectation. And yet you face them all. So now, here you stand. Not at the end, not at the beginning, but at the edge, where the person you used to be and the person you're becoming finally stare each other down. And the one who walked alone, the one who didn't turn back, the one who learned to trust their own steps, that one is rising. This is not luck. This is not an accident. This is the consequence of choosing yourself when it was hardest. And now the world has no choice but to respond to the presence you've built in silence. So here you are, standing on the threshold of the next phase, the one few ever reach. Most people think rising starts with applause, recognition, or some dramatic turning point. But you already know better. Rising stars in the quiet corners where no one claps, where no one notices, where only your will is awake. That's where your new strength was born, and that's exactly where it continues to grow. Because once you walk alone for long enough, something interesting happens. You stop waiting for someone to guide you, and you begin guiding yourself. You stop craving direction, and you start creating direction. And when that shift happens, the world around you adjusts without you having to say a single word. Your presence starts speaking louder than explanations ever could. Does it feel strange sometimes? That calm intensity that now follows you? That quiet certainty in your steps? It should. It's not something borrowed. It's not something taught. It's something earned. And anything earned carries a weight that no one else can touch. Remember when you used to doubt every move, replay every mistake, and fear every unknown moment? Those days feel distant now, don't they? Because the version of you standing here today has tasted what it means to rely on your own strength. And once you taste that, the old doubts lose their power. No. They try to return, but you've outgrown them. quietly. People around you start noticing the difference. They may not understand it, but they feel it. That silent conviction, that steady composure, that depth behind your eyes. It unsettles some, inspires others, and reveals the truth about everyone. Walking alone teaches you not only who you are, but who they are. But here's the part most won't believe. Solitude doesn't remove your strength. It concentrates on it. Every step you took away from the noise added another layer of clarity, another layer of discipline, another layer of resolve. That's why you now move differently. Not faster, not louder, simply sharper. And sharpness cuts through everything that once distracted you. You've learned something people spend their whole lives avoiding. You learned how to sit with your own thoughts without breaking. You learned how to hear your own voice without doubting it. You learned how to make decisions without pleading for reassurance. That level of independence isn't loud, but it's powerful in ways that cannot be measured. And now comes the real turning point. The moment where walking alone stops being a struggle and becomes an advantage. You no longer chase recognition. You no longer seek permission. You operate with intention, focus, and a steady fire that doesn't burn out when others disappear. That's the mark of someone who has faced themselves and didn't flinch. Look closely at your journey. Every challenge sharpened you. Every setback carved you. Every quiet victory strengthened you. And now the path ahead is clearer than ever. Not because it's easy, but because you're ready for what it demands. You've built the mindset needed to cross it. So take a breath. Feel the weight of what you've become. Not in arrogance, not in pride, but in recognition. You walked alone. You endured the tension. You embraced the silence, and you didn't break. Very few can say the same. This is where your rise truly begins. Not through noise, not through approval, but through the undeniable presence you've created through solitude, resilience, and clarity. You didn't wait for a crown. You built the person who deserves one. Now feel it. The weight of expectation, not from others, but from yourself. Every choice you've made, every risk you've embraced, every night you stayed awake facing your own thoughts, it all leads to this point. You've carried more than most, and yet here you are, steadier than ever, ready to claim the place you've earned without asking anyone for permission. The world doesn't hand anything to the solitary. It tests you. It pushes, it shakes, it whispers doubts, and throws distractions in your path. But walking alone has already taught you how to move through the noise without bending. Your focus is your shield, your clarity is your weapon. And that is why the crown that fits you now isn't given. It's inevitable. Look back at all those moments you thought you were failing. The sleepless nights, the moments of hesitation, the times when even your own confidence wavered. Each of those moments was a silent rehearsal for the strength you needed to survive and rise. You weren't failing, you were forging yourself. You see, isolation doesn't weaken, it amplifies. It exposes the gaps, the limits, the cracks, and then forces you to fill them. It forces you to become more than you ever imagined. And now, standing here, the edges of who you are have been sharpened against every challenge, every quiet test, every moment the world refused to notice you. And here's the beautiful part. No one else shaped this. No one else can claim credit. The victories, the insights, the resilience, all yours. And that ownership carries a power that no crowd, no applause, no external recognition could ever match. Nah, it's raw, it's real, it's entirely yours. Now imagine what comes next. Not the easy road, not the obvious choice, not the one everyone expects. The road ahead is yours to carve, and the clarity you've earned gives you the edge. Every step forward now isn't just movement, it's a statement, a declaration that the one who walks alone doesn't just survive, they rise. Feel it in your bones, the shift from survival to dominance. Not domination over others, but over every doubt, every hesitation, every shadow of fear you once carried. You've transformed the silence into strategy, the solitude into strength, the struggle into fuel. And that fuel isn't fading. It's igniting the version of yourself that finally recognizes the weight, the responsibility, and the power you hold. Now recognize this truth. Crowns are not just symbols, they are proof. Proof that someone endured, persevered, and refused to be molded by expectations. And you went solo. You faced yourself in ways most never dare. You kept moving when every comfort whispered to stop. That's why the world cannot ignore you. So step into it fully. Step into the intensity, the responsibility, the focus. Every challenge that comes now is an opportunity to remind yourself who you are. Every obstacle is a test of the very strength you've built in silence. And every choice forward is a declaration that the one who walked alone has arrived. And that's the ultimate truth. The one who refused to follow, the one who refused to wait, the one who trusted their own steps. That one is not just surviving the journey, they are claiming what they've always been meant to carry. Now it's time to rise, to sharpen, to take your place. The crown isn't a gift. It's the inevitable result of someone who dared to walk alone and refused to be anything less than themselves. Now listen closely. This is the moment where everything converges. Every risk, every lonely step, every sleepless night, it all comes together here, sharp and undeniable. The version of yourself you've been building in silence now demands recognition not from others, but from life itself. You've walked a path few dare to walk. And in that solitude you learn the most dangerous, powerful lesson. You don't need permission, you don't need approval, you don't need anyone to tell you that you belong. You belong because you fought, because you endured, because you dared to rise alone. Do you feel that fire? The one burning beneath your ribs? That's not anger. That's clarity. That's the focus. That's the raw intensity of someone who has faced themselves, stripped away all distractions, and refused to shrink. That fire doesn't flicker. It doesn't die. It demands action. The crown is no longer ahead of you. It's in your hands. Every choice you make now, every move forward, every silent victory, it shapes the world around you. The people who doubted you, the voices that whispered stay small, the moments that tested your patience, they are irrelevant now because the one who walked alone doesn't just step into power, they command it through presence. Now, take a moment to feel it, the weight of your own potential, the tension of all the nights you thought you were alone, the satisfaction of knowing that every lesson, every struggle, every confrontation led to this very instant. And in this instant, there is nothing left to fear, nothing left to doubt, nothing left to prove, because you've already proven it to the only person that truly matters, yourself. You survived the silence. You thrived in solitude. You mastered the game that others couldn't even see. Oof. And that mastery transforms everything. It transforms opportunity, challenge, and even the obstacles themselves into fuel for the next level of your rise. Look around. Everything bends to those who rise alone and refuse to compromise. The world doesn't hand out crowns. It reacts to them. And the presence you've forged, the sharpness, the clarity, the relentless focus, forces reaction. That's why the one who walked solo is no longer chasing anything. The world is chasing them. Now step fully into it. Not hesitantly, not cautiously, but with the full awareness of who you've become. Every scar, every quiet victory, every shadow you faced, it all leads to this apex of your own making. And at this apex, there is only one truth. You are untouchable in your own domain. This is your rise. Not borrowed, not delayed, not conditional. It is yours because you earned it, because you chose the road that no one else would take, because you refused to shrink when every comfort begged you to. And now, you don't just exist. You dominate your presence. You define your space. You command the outcome.